Okay. Your mic's soft a little bit. Let me see if I can turn it up. I think that's the most that it goes. I think I can maybe turn it up in Discord. I would just say turn me up, though. If you can. Mic is good? Okay, okay. All right. So, going into the morning here, I want to double check to see if there's any other news. Okay, yeah, we have 10 o'clock. Okay. So, kind of going into the morning here, I'm going to be completely honest. I am, for some reason, very kind of sketched out with where we are right now. And the reason why I'm a little sketched out from where we are right now is because of how deep we just completely bought up this entire move. And so, if we look at this move that we kind of recently had from basically last week all the way up until the start of this week, we're now back at equilibrium. So yesterday we ended up just straight pumping all the way back to equilibrium of this range. From here, I really don't know what the external draw is. I really don't. I could see us possibly selling off and trying to go back lower and maybe, but I could also see us kind of sitting, have a rebalance and go back fucking higher. So based off of the internal price action, it's hard for me to fully get a grasp and understand what we want to do here, because I can look at this and I can say, okay, well, we could have a 1 hour change in the state, but this 1 hour change in the state isn't necessarily valid because I have no idea if we want to draw lower or not. There's nothing to the left of us. There's no really liquidity. We ran through the imbalance already. So now we're having a change in the state after we already ran through the fucking fair value gap. So going into the day, to be honest, my goal is just to watch price action until it continues to affirm one thing or the other. Now, right now, I can have a loose bias and I can say, okay, well, we had an SMT pre-market. We had a 15-minute change in the state here. I do believe I'd want to see price sell off at open. We'll see if there's any sort of high probability opportunity from here. I would like to see us sell back off into the 4 hour inverse, see what we want to do from there. If we want to build price action. I don't really like where ES looks because we have all of these stacked highs here. So I would honestly like to see possibly a manipulation leg at open. Even though we have an SMT here, we could still possibly have another leg higher. But we'll watch to see what we want to do. Right now, ES has already technically had this change, so I would expect NQ to most likely fall with it on the bigger time frame. But I really am curious to see kind of what we want to do. I definitely think that we have a lot of room to the downside where we can rebalance price. But from kind of where we are right now, I really have no desire to get into the market or into any position. So my goal at open is just to watch price action, get a better understanding of what we want to do, be patient, and just kind of let the market tell me what we want to do. Right? I'm not very trigger happy. At least right now, I need to see some more PA get put in place. So we'll see what happens at market open. We got news at 10 o'clock as well, and we'll be patient, let the market do its thing. Let's get some morning jazz going here. I would kind of look to see if we do want to sell off at open. Kind of normally what I would expect to see something like this, where we might have a move higher, put in a bearish SMT, and then sell off internally. We got a minute till open here, so we'll see what we want to do. All right, market open.
Yep.
So we did just put this SMT in. NQ most likely dumped to the low.
Alright, those equal lows are getting taken. it's taken.
Right now, I just want to simply watch price action here. What's up, Michi? Morning's been good. Just sipping on my coffee, waiting for the market. Yeah, right now, guys, I'm definitely very, very patient and kind of skeptical, or at least on wanting to let the market kind of give me more confluence and more context here. Keep in mind, too, we're pretty much at Asia session as well, so there's really no bias with Asia. We have potential seek and destroy, but it's kind of against the bias that the PA is showing us, so we'll see if we do want to go back to London.
What do you think about longs?
I don't even know. Either or could work, but I do not know.
One of my friends is about to enter a trade. I wonder which way he's trading.
Probably buys.
Alright, the SMT was one place to go take out those equal lows, probably. There's this 1 minute gap. That's about to get inversed.
Why is my trading view tweaking?
Yes. It's just, look at that, 1 minute is the strongest 1 minute I've seen in my life.
I don't know why my internet has been so bad recently. I would want to see price continue lower, most likely. Kind of having this initial rebalance into the 1 minute for value gap, but I would want to see us continue lower.
Early shorts.
You seem for sure you would rather see it go down for sure.
Do you reckon this 4 hour gets inversed? That we're in. Thoughts on this?
Which one, the bullish one?
The one that we're in right now. Bullish.
Right.
Hold on, I'm going to change connection real quick.
The bearish one is so strong, like with the wicks.
Yeah.
This is so crazy. Why is it so laggy? I'm gonna check this out afterwards.
Yeah, look at the 5-minute candle.
Why is this so laggy?
What?
So right now, watching, I really want to see if this 1 minute wants to hold or not. I would want this hold. So if we would have to react right now if we do want to go back lower, because I'd want to see us sweep this into high. We'll see and take in liquidity. Yeah, all right. Let me switch to hotspot. Hold on. This is terrible. The thing is that the internet the internet is just like cutting it. Like for example, literally yesterday, I'll check my internet and I'll have like 1 gig download or an upload. Like I'll have literally insane internet, and then it'll just randomly fucking kill itself. Guys, I would be pretty patient right now with kind of where we are in price action. Straight bigger time frame accumulation. So we just ran through this fair value gap. I could see us go higher here. This is a possible long, but I really do not like this bigger time frame. This is not enough conviction for me to take this long. There's no SMT that's bullish. We're actually way back in the range, which I would be leaning more bearish. But we could end up getting bought up to go take this low resistance liquidity here, 100%. Definitely what I'm leaning towards is bullish bias to go take all this internal liquidity. Gotten above the 1 minute change. Yeah, I'm most likely going to wait for news here. We got 20 minutes. Yeah, tapped back into the bearish 15-minute. We actually have this S&P that just got put in. So actually, I would want to see NQ continue lower if we put this SMT in. I'm journaling my thoughts right now. I'm really focused on winning this session, and I feel a tight pressure at my neck. I don't want to miss out on the trade that is coming. Yeah, don't trade then. If you feel like that, then you're in a position that's going to cause you to make a mistake because you're so focused on taking a trade and wanting to win. When in reality, I have no idea what the market wants to do right now. I need to see more confluence. Right now, I could see this being, okay, 1 minute change in the state. We could go take these ties. Now there's a bearish SMT, though. Bigger time frame, yes, it had a change in the state on the bigger time frame, so I'd want to see it start to fall. I think there's more room to the downside on the bigger time frame. I think that this could be a fake to the long side. We go run this bullish inefficiency on or on NQ, and then we sell back off. But I could definitely see this get ran through too. I think it looks good, Mimi. I think a short pre-market wasn't too bad. We might just soup this and continue higher. So this is the internal high take, and we'll see if we want to stop up here, but could expect to follow through straight back to these highs. We'll watch. Again, on ES, guys, this is literally the sign to be be very, very cautious. Look at ES here. Just sitting in this range. Patience, patience. I have not watched all ICT content. I don't think there's any reason to watch all ICT content. Yeah, that's a shit ton of videos. Do you still consider the first 15-minute SMT valid, even if we already sweep the lows of the manipulation, like basically SMT played out? Which SMT? The SMT here? Was this valid? I mean, yeah, it was valid because it got put in and we had to change it in the state afterward, and then we went to go take sell side. So, but now, again, the problem is like, there was a long here, but the reason I don't take this long is just there's not enough validation for me to take this long. Like, this is just straight accumulation, right? This is us actually playing out Seek and Destroy. Very rarely, like, recently we haven't actually played out Seek and Destroy. This is actually us playing out Seek and Destroy right now. Like, this is a normal Seek and Destroy day. If we look at Asia and London session, this is just straight Seek and Destroy. Seek and Destroy is a profile when London session takes out Asia high and low, and New York takes out London low and high. So you can see Asia accumulates, right? We build a range, low gets put in, high gets put in. London opens, takes Asia, immediately then goes, takes Asia low, and then London puts in a new high. New York opens, we go take a side of London, and then we go take the other side of London. So again, it's literally just looks like this. That's Seek and Destroy, basically, where we're just back and forth, taking the highs and the lows from the previous sessions. Again, I still think that we can reject here and go lower because ES is really dancing on this like true change. So ES had this last move up. We took this recent high. Now we're building internal price action. I would want to see this flip bearish. But I think the market's most likely going to try to play as many games as possible here. Now, this could also be, again, a riskier short on ES as if we run this for value gap on the rejection. If there's a clear structure in bearish SMT, then I would take this, but I would want to see NQ go take London high. Want to say thank you one more time. Today's my last session with you. Month and a week here taught me so much. Never made as much progress in my life. Will def join it if I need help. Again, much love for you and Tactical Traders team. Much love, Adam. Keep killing it, brother. Is Chris live in the mentorship? Yeah. Quick question. If you had, like, let's say 20K, would you use it to get fund accounts, or would you just use the 20K? I would split up the 20K into a couple different accounts. So I would first evaluate what stage you're at. If you've actually grown an account and you've been successful before, then I would open up a larger live account, but I would not put all of that capital. I would put max 10K into a live account. In reality, I would put like 5K into a live account, save the rest of the capital, maybe put it into some funded accounts on the side, but I would not put all of that capital into a live account now. Bro, let's fucking go, Wilson. You're killing it, bro. Federico, my advice to you is to stop caring. Like, you're asking me for advice for something you're taking personally. I can't give you advice for something you're taking personally. My advice is don't take it personally. It's completely two different types of education. When you go, it's the same thing that when anybody goes into a finance class in school and you ask them about trading, they're gonna fucking tell you the bullshit. Again, guys, right now, be complete patient. Sit on your hands, sipping coffee. I have no desire to get into anything right now. Just letting the market play out here. So we'll see what happens once this high gets taken, because that'll be seek and destroy complete. We could displace through it, or we could sweep it and then fall back down. Any plans on visiting Dubai? I have zero intention or want to go to Dubai, to be honest. Do you think it's better to go on a demo on really small live account to master psychology, or a really small live account to master psychology? I struggle with entering way too many times when I'm trading funded, and that's what's holding me back from being profitable. I got to pay out once I stuck to my strategy, but I'm struggling to keep my hands off the buy and sell button. I mean, I think you going back to training wheels is not growing. It's not you growing. And it's like, that's what you have to think about it, where it's like, everybody gets to a point where I get asked, should I trade on a paper? Should I paper trade or should I trade live account? You're at a point where I don't believe you get any good by trading on a paper trade account. Now, unless you don't know your edge, but in my opinion, you probably do know your edge, and tell me if I'm wrong. If you know your edge and you just struggle with taking a buy and sell button, I believe that you should be put in a position to fucking still get burned, because the only way you're going to grow is by being comfortable in that environment. That's the only way you're going to grow. So I would do it on a small live account or on a prop firm account. and focus on taking less trades, create a rule and say, hey, I'm only going to take one trade per day, and treat it like a business and say, you know what, every decision actually matters that I make. I'm not going to treat this like I'm fucking playing a video game, and I'm actually going to, be conscious of all the decisions I make, and I'm going to focus on making the right ones in the right time and be, very patient in what I do. So I think a possible ES short can play out here. But also, I don't like where I think NQ wants to go back to London highs, but I think also we can reject here too. So I think the market can kind of go either way here. I would want to see ES sell off though. It is a potential short. I just use the session indicators. When you say disconnect yourself from the idea of money to stop over trading and revenge trading, how exactly do you go about changing your mindset to get to that point? Great question. We could talk about this for a while, but one of the biggest things that I can say is your overall affirmation or ability to be basically, where's your heart resting? Where is your heart and mind resting? If your heart and mind is resting on the idea of money and scarcity and the saying, I don't have enough money in my life, I need to pay bills, I need to go quit school, I need to go, be free. If you are so focused and overvaluing the idea of what that is, now I'm not saying that it's bad to grind, right? Or it's bad to work hard towards something. But the thing with trading is if you're working hard towards something mentally, you're going to try to work hard towards it physically, and working hard towards it physically in trading is not what success is. You're going to end up taking bad trades because trading in your brain is doing work, when in reality, me literally sitting here doing nothing is me working, right? If there's no setup, there's no execution. That is me focusing on capital preservation. So the way in which you disconnect from the idea of money is you first have to understand, how am I going to make money? Because right now, the reason why people aren't disconnected from money is because you have a false perception of what trading is. You haven't gotten to a point when you realize what trading truly is. Trading truly is about not trading. It's the only way you're going to make money long term and have a longevity based trading. And I'm saying, make money not just for a week, not just for 2 weeks, not just for a month, not just for 6 months, but for year over year. You have to be in a completely unattached longevity mindset where I can go a week and not take a trade. I can go a week and lose and then come back next week and refresh my mental. And it all comes down to my ability to take a trade in the morning and then go live my life. And if I'm too focused on money, and money is my idea of success in my brain and in my life, then what happens when I take a trade in the morning? I lose. If I lose and I'm more focused on capital, that's why, holy moly, there's the ES dump. That's news right there, 10 o'clock. But if I'm more focused on the money, I'm going to be way more impacted by the ups and downs of the trajectory that in the experiences that I'll experience when I'm going through my trading journey. And the more sway you have, the more, number one, emotionally just beaten you're going to be. You're going to feel exhausted because every single trade is like life or death. Took my 5th break even in a row. I don't know how I should feel about it. I would go evaluate where your stop loss and your price targets are and realize if you're actually, taking the right trades and the right management of them. No, just because we put in a bullish SMT does not mean I should take longs to go to London High. I do not think that there's any reason for me to take longs to go to London High. As you want to know the easy answer? People say, Justin, how do I know when I shouldn't trade? Justin, how do you recognize conditions? How do I know when I shouldn't be trading? Let me ask you this. Are there sometimes you wake up in the morning and there's sometimes when you're looking at the market and you're saying, wow, price action is good. Wow, this is clear to me. I think this looks good. I think that we're going to do this. Oh, wow. Maybe that's because your fucking model and the way that you look at the market is literally designed on efficiency. That's what our concepts are, is designed on when the market is efficient. So when it's not that, ES and NQ are discorrelated. We're in an area in which I don't know where we want to go. That's literally your brain and your experience and your strategy literally telling you, hey, brother, sit on your hands right now. A lot of the times you guys get so, like, not everybody, but some of you in here, and something that I struggled with as well, is it's very hard for us to sit still knowing that we can possibly make money. And that's what it is when you're over, if you struggle with that, that's the first problem that you need to fix in your trading, is that you can't sit still because you could be making money right now. And that's literally something that's going to absolutely blow you up. I could use your advice real quick. I got my first payout from a funded account, hit 2K profit, but only withdrew 450 due to the 90-10 split. Hoping to grow it more, but I ended up blowing the account since the challenge cost me about 450, basically broke even. Now I'm wondering, should I reinvest in another challenge and try again to secure a full payout, or just hold on to the 450 and regroup? Also, my main struggle now is mindset. Over the last 2 weeks, I gave back around 5K profits, both from options and funded accounts. I know I can make money, but I'm struggling with not tilting and protecting profits. That's where I need most help. How would you approach this? Number one, I would wipe the slate clean, right? Trading is all about wiping the slate clean. So anytime that, like, you guys do you guys ever see me talking about, like, a trading problem that happened, like, last week? Or, like, anything more than like 2 days? The reason is because trading is a game where your job is to learn and then completely wipe it clean. Which is, hey, if I make a mistake and I have a problem, right? My job is that day, I'm going to journal it. I'm going to fully recognize my problem and I'm going to take it for what it is. I'm going to say, I'm not sitting here going to use this as guilt subconsciously and say, oh, wow, I made this big mistake. I suck so much. But more so, hey, I'm going to look at this from a third person perspective that's unattached to the decision making. And I'm going to say, this person made this mistake and I can recognize this. Boom. Next day, it's completely gone from my mind. And I'm focusing on what is the market showing me right now. I don't know about what my account value is. I'm not worrying about how much money I need to make. I'm worrying about what is the market showing me. Because that is truth, right? If we want to be traders, that means that you have to align your brain and your focus with what the truth is. And what the truth is the market. The market is not lying to you. The data in which I'm seeing right now is true. That's the only thing that is true. The lines that I draw on my chart are not true. Those are subjective. So until I can understand price action and an understanding of how it relates to my strategy, there's no reason I should ever worry or fucking be tripping about anything. There's always going to be an abundance of opportunity, and you get to decide what mindset you're going to fall into. Are you going to fall into the mindset of there is abundant opportunity and I'm okay with sitting here because I know that there's going to be a good quality setup eventually? Or am I going to fall into scarcity where I'm watching the market dump right now and I'm fucking heated, furious because I'm trying to figure out where my short entry is, and now I feel like I'm missing out on this move, and then I go calculate, oh my god, I would have made this much money, oh my god, right? So it's like, what you decide what you want to fall into. New trade path update most likely this week, should be very soon. We're fixing some last bugs. We also are continuing to start development for Session Buddy as well. I don't know if I talked to you guys about that. I think the mentorship people know. Tips on passing an eval: be more aggressive with it and only take high quality setups. Very high quality setups that you have conviction in. Yeah, Clayton's in Serbia right now with the trade path devs. The background color is lagging. We're actually getting rid of the background. We're making the platform wide. Let me show you. Oh wait, this is not it. Actually, this is our new website. I'll show you this. With this about to go live, we've been working on our new website. It's actually really, really clean. A lot more professional. I like this website way more than what our other website was. But we have a new updated trade stage that we're about to push live. 1.0, habit builder. Everything you need to master your trade and key features. Statistic page, dashboard, broker connections. This shit's hard. Trade path score, log trade. Features. Innovative tools for smarter trading. Habit builder, trade stage AI. The problems we solve. Start your day. Personalized. Statistics. This has got to, some of these got to be fixed. Pricing. About us. That's me. Bridge the gap. The problem we solve. What makes us different. This is really cool. I love this too. Broker page. So now we're going to show all the brokers that we support. And then, is your broker missing from our list? Contact us. Get in touch. But yeah, fire. Can we get a break-even option for logging trades on TradePath? There is a break-even. You journal as 0, brother. If I go to TradePath and I log a trade, I click 0, and then I journal it as normal, and then I can click submit. But we can add a break-even button if it's easier. But like, show you the new interface. Yeah, let me get the testing link real quick, and I'll show you. Is that not it? Is this it? So we're gonna build out the dashboard and make like it a bunch of widgets and customization for it. So this is basically what it looks like, right? So we're getting rid of the dashboard, so it'll be fully wide. But what we're doing now, because it's fully wide, is we're gonna add a bunch of more widgets that you can put on the dashboard that you can edit and change and stuff. This is the TradeStage AI. You have predefined questions that you can ask. You know, what am I least profitable? How can I improve my trading? How can I improve my strategy? Where am I lacking in my trading? What is holding me back from making more money? Give me a breakdown of my trading. Ask anything you want. It'll break it down for you. So you'll have TradeStage AI here. So this is kind of some stuff that we're changing right now. I don't know what page were you were on, but your Tradovate and TradeStation logos are switched on the website. Really? Are they? Let me see. Oh, they are switched. Thank you for pointing that out. Again, right now, guys, I really have no desire to touch anything. I need to see. Just the market right now is really just not very appetizing, at least for me right now. We're starting to sell off from this, but again, when we look at the 4 hour, this is literally just straight down close, up close candles now starting to rebalance a little bit. We've had this change. We could come back up and continue to go lower. I definitely think that we can continue to go lower, but now it comes to saying, okay, even if we go lower, I still need to understand where my entry is and where there's a reason for it. Can't enter right here. I need to see more internal price action. ES is kind of the leader here. NQ is lagging. Best to just, again, sit and watch. We don't need to take anything. Justin, I've just bought TradePath for a month and I can add so many trade rules in total, but when it's time to journal a trade, it shows only 4 of them. Is that a new bug? Send a screenshot. It shouldn't. There shouldn't be. There should be. Actually, let me test that. Because I have 4, so let me add another one. Showing rules that existed on 8.5. That's why. So the day that you add the rule, because you added it that day, it won't affect your statistics. Now, if I was to switch it to Wednesday, then it adds to this. And the reason why we have to set it up like that is because if somebody adds or takes away from their rules, we have to calculate the data differently. So we create a set date for it, right? So if I create a new rule and I go to journal the trade like right now, it's not going to pop up until tomorrow, right? If I switch the date, you see how the new option will be here. Yeah, guys, if you guys are not currently journaling your trades, highly recommend go try TradePath out. Go get a month, try it out. If you like it, you can keep it. If you don't like it, just test it out for a month. And you'll find that, again, when you take the time and actually journal, and again, this is literally built for it. See your statistics in a way. Y'all telling me from India to casually go get a decent job. I have these new rules. That's fire, Gangu. What's preventing you from longing right now? There literally being 0 long setup whatsoever. Why would I long right now? I wouldn't do anything right now. I have no clue what I'm doing in the markets right now. I'm basically just following patterns, and I feel like a beginner again with no real understanding of what's going on. Could it be because I'm consuming too much information and giving myself analysis paralysis? 1,000,000%. How are you supposed to figure out what's right and what's wrong when you're hearing what's right and what's wrong from so many different people? You have to figure out what's right and what is wrong through yourself and through testing and through action and conscious decision making. Right now, you're trying to rely on somebody else's information and not your own experience. How will journaling help me? If you don't know, if you're not tracking, you don't know what to fix. So right now, many of you guys struggle with your trading, but you'll come to me and say, Justin, I don't know what's wrong with my trading. I have this problem. I overtrade. I'm break even right now. I am taking bad setups. I'm doing this. But when you don't track those things and you actually aren't journaling your trades, then how the fuck do you know what works and what doesn't work? And how do you know where you're falling short? And it's the action of taking the time and saying, okay, I traded today. I'm going to go spend 10 minutes and go journal and write down, okay, what was the trade I took? Why did I take it? Add it to the database, and then TradePath has AI built into it to then you'll be able to get insights using TradePath. So for example, right, if on my habit builder on TradePath, if you go to the strategy habit builder section, right, which is this, I have all my rules. I have what's my most broken rule, what's my rule adherence, what's my score. I can get TradeSage AI notes on my strategy that's taking whatever I just previously added, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to take the last trade from yesterday, the loss that I had on the day, and it's going to give me a breakdown of everything and how my progress is, right? So it's like when you continue to journal, it's going to show you your progress and basically take into account basically the new decisions that you've made. And again, this is just the start. Right now, we haven't even pushed our full chatbot live. Now we're working on Session Buddy, which is going to record your sessions as well and then break them down with AI. We're working on some fucking crazy shit. Is this taking a little long though? Maybe I need to refresh. I'm not sure. Maybe it got stuck. Let's see what we're doing here first. I mean, I have to message the devs. I don't know why it's taking. This shouldn't normally doesn't take this long. Yeah, it's probably the Wi-Fi. But it normally never takes this long, so let me message them. It might be stuck. There we go. So it's basically taking my trades, pre-trade rules followed in one of the two trades that I took. Daily rules, performance impact, behavioral patterns, changes since last summary. So change in the state, SMT adherence improved. Now consistency followed equals major progress. Daily discipline collapsed from one breach last summary to two consecutive breaches, dangerous trend. So basically the following rules, the two trades that I took broke specific things. Risk management failure, risk 5K max loss breach. This is the line you don't cross. Action plan, lock in for the 4 trade rules. The 2020 that August 1st trade proved your edge, but skipping liquidity manipulation is gambling. Don't get lazy after wins. No trades after drawn liquidity is hit. Loss happened because you forced a trade without a confident draw. Wait for the setup. Daily rule reset. 2 trade days breaking 2 trade rules. Why? Journal. Am I trading on a boredom or edge? Emergency break. Final thoughts. Your technical execution is improving, changing the state in SMT adherence, but daily discipline is eroding. 5K breach is a bright red flag. This is how accounts blow up. Key quote from your notes: overtraded on the last trade. Awareness is a step 1. Now act on it. Praise. Changing the state SMT consistency is excellent progress. Honest post-trade reviews. No sugarcoating. Hard truth. Daily rules are non-negotiable. 2 breaches in a row is a system breakdown. The loss on the 4th was 100% preventable. No draw on liquidity. No trade equals no trade period. Who coded the AI? My dev team. We made it together. No, we're not. We're not doing back testing. It's not the direction we're going in. We're going in a completely new direction that's never been done before. That's going to literally change anything. Like, guys, I'm telling you right now what we're building right now. And again, I don't want to overhype it until it's like, we actually have a fully solidified product for it. But I'm telling you right now, what we're building right now is genuinely going to journaling, and the exponential growth of a trader is going to be like, it's going to be completely shifted. We're basically creating an exponential learning curve for how a trader can improve and learn based off of what we're building right now. With less work, more automations, and it's going to be insane. Are you planning on increasing the price with TradePass if you add all new features? No, but what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to test AI cost and then make so like, for example, with the new product that we're making, it'll probably still be the same price, but we'll have to add a back end storage. So it's like, imagine like you're using Google Drive, right? You pay off of storage. So that's what we're going to be most likely having our commission, or not a commission model, but more so monetization of storage. But we also have to have more data with what our cost is. Wait, again, when you're building a product, you don't really know what your cost is going to be until you have users kind of using it. And then from there, we can make adjustments and do calculations to kind of see what we should charge for storage. Make sure that you, operator, when you're exporting the CSV from Tradovate, make sure that when you export it, you're setting the time limit, because what it is probably, it's only probably taking a specific time limit, or like the last week of the trades. Make sure that you change it to like all time, and then I would try again. Check your texts. Clayton, do you want to post that in the chat for me? Guys, we're going to get anybody that's using TradePath right now. We want to get as much feedback as possible when it comes to what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see added. We're going to put a type form in the chat. So anybody that's been using TradePath, fill this out. And anybody who does fill it out, we'll pick a winner and we'll give like a free 6-month subscription or a year to TradePath from picking somebody who fills this out. So anybody that's using TradePath right now, if you could spend some, like, a little bit of time in filling out that type form, that would be absolutely fantastic, so we can better make the platform better and better, and continue to help as many people as possible with it. Yeah, let me know what you think, Rakito. When you get it, let me know, and I'll help you with it too if you want. If you're in the mentorship Discord, there's a chat to get access to TradePath. Will you bring TradePath to the App Store? Probably not. maybe in the future, but right now there's no reason to with the direction in which we're building. We're building a downloadable web app which is going to record your screen and AI analyze your trading sessions so that you don't have to journal. So imagine like right now I literally just click record, I trade with you guys and I trade, and at the end of my session I click done, and then it'll automatically recognize all of the trades that I take. It'll then automatically know what my rules are. And it'll then ask me questions after the session to say, hey, did you do this? How was this? How was this? And then it'll again give me a breakdown of my trading. And it's going to completely change the fucking game. And then what it's going to do is it's going to recognize the faults in your trading. And then it's going to create challenges to fix those faults. And the problem is every other software that is out there that is supposed to, quote, help traders actually does not help traders. It just gives them data. And what I realized, it's like, fuck, TradePath, I'm just giving people data. Like, they don't know what to do with that data. So what we're going to do is we're going to create almost a gamification of it, like Duolingo, where it's saying, hey, record your setup. You don't even have to journal. Record it. It's automized. AI then breaks it down in relationship to the rules that you set up in the platform. And then it'll say, hey, we recognize that your biggest fault in your trading right now is trading without an SMT. Let's create a rule and a challenge for the next 7 days to make every trade have an SMT. And then you say, okay, I accept the challenge. You'll have a challenge page. And then after a week, you'll be focused on saying, hey, did you complete this? And then how, if I did follow this challenge and I completed it, how did it affect my data? How did it affect my consistency? No, AI does not have complete access to the user's PC. The AI is not making decisions. It's simply analyzing a recording from and the way in which we're coding it. So for example, we just finished our proof of concept phase, and now we're full on development right now. Our proof of concept phase is, I asked myself and I said, how do I overcome? Like, for example, when I look at like TradeZella, right? And I say, okay, and this is me as a business owner, and I want to share this with you guys so that like you guys never have the fucking, I want you guys to be, people said I was crazy. That I'm crazy to compete with Umar and compete with a company that's already, $400 million business. Now, yeah, Clayton was literally one of them. And there was many discussions that me and Clayton sat there together, and I said, Clayton, I don't know if I should be doing this. But with this idea in the direction that we're going in, it completely negates every other journal. It completely negates any other self-help trading platform. It really does. Because now you literally don't have to journal. The thing, because you want to know why I did this and why I came to this point, is because I was journaling with TradePath, my own software, and I said, fuck, I kind of really don't want to do this right now. And I said, well, what's the problems that I find with TradeZella or other journaling platforms? And I say, well, it's not really fixing my problems. Number two, broker connections causes it. So it's like, it's really not, taking an accurate data. And some people, brokers that can't be connected. Well, what if I create and I code something that can recognize trades and analyze trades without a broker connection in real time, take that data, assess that data, and then give me feedback on it. So what we're basically doing is on TradingView, and what we're going to end up building is we're going to end up building two sides of this, a TradingView and a broker one. So I don't have to have any broker connection. If I trade on TradingView, we are coding our AI to recognize how to read TradingView. So for example, if I'm recording right now and I take a trade, for example, this is basically what we're coding. When I put on an order here, what pops up? This order right here. On the bottom left of my screen, limit order placed, NQ U25, sell one contract 23, boom. AI recognizes this pop-up, and then it looks over here to the right where the time is. It now knows the exact time in which I put that order on. And it knows every decision I make now based off of just recognizing how TradingView shows that information. So you'll never have a broker. You'll never need to connect a broker to any platform. And in fact, this will now even be more seamless because now at the end of my session, I click done recording. It'll then pop open TradePath. It'll then take a minute to break down and analyze the entire recording. It'll recognize the trades in which I took, all of the data for it, so I don't even have to manually journal it. It'll know everything without any broker connection. And then it'll then ask me questions on its ability to recognize those things. So saying, hey, we recognize this trade, this trade, this trade, and it'll say, are these correct? You'll say yes or no, and it'll then journal them for you. And then you can then go add notes if you want. And then it'll give you feedback based off of how it relates to your rules, how it relates to this, what's your overall consistency after the day, how does it relate to your overall long-term goals, how does it relate to everything, bro. This is gonna fucking change the game. If we can get an investor, it's fucking game over. I'm in the process of building out pitch decks right now for getting an investor. And if we can get an investor, it's actually going to be game over. Because I want to fucking monopolize this shit. There will never be, there's not going to be a competitor. We will take over the market. We have a team working so religiously on this and so many connections that want to be a part of this, where our goal is just to continue to build. Oh yeah, I would not go public, no. How much are you looking to raise? $1 million. Yeah, and 1 mil is not that much. I mean, right now it's bootstrapped. Why don't you just get a loan from the bank? I could. Okay, great question, right? So now we talk about pros and cons, right? If I can find an investor, and keep in mind, an investor is like dating, right? An investor is like me saying, hey, do I like this person? Can they benefit me? Do they not only have the money, but is it somebody that I want to work with? Because like you're going to get people that are going to not want to be anything a part of it. You're going to have people that'll have money that don't want to be a part of it, but they'll give you money. And then you have people that might actually have value to bring to the table, that want to guide, like be a mentor to you, that have experience, that have maybe sold companies before. They've worked in AI, they've worked in finance, they've worked in whatever. And throughout the process of kind of seeing what are you looking for and what's the benefit to have them as a company, because a lot of the time the biggest benefit isn't in fact the money, it's their expertise, right? They've grown and sold a company for over $100 million before. They've done, AI work before. They've done, trading work before, whatever it is, software. And that's really where you can get a lot of insight, because you're going to people who've done it before that are not only just investing into you, but are going to be mentoring you and guiding you. You're looking for a partner. Now, keep in mind, I'll take fucking both. If somebody comes to me and we pitch them and they're like, I'll give you $1 million, but I have faith in you, but it's not really something I'm knowledgeable on or have any experience with, I don't fucking care. I'll take the money, because I know that I don't need that. I don't need it. I have enough people in my circle and confidence in myself to make it happen. I don't need anybody else to make it happen. If somebody wants to give me capital, that would be fucking fantastic. How much equity are you willing to part with? Probably like 10%. It depends, though. It depends on the person. Again, it depends if the person is valuable. Because equity, in my opinion, it depends if the person is valuable or not. I can invest $5. Hope that helps. I think it looks good, Joker. If you're asking for 1 mil, you're gonna have to give a lot more than 10%. Possibly, but I think it also depends on how we pitch it. So what you gotta understand is this, right? If we were to say, okay, how much is TradePath currently worth, right? Where we're saying, hey, if we're only giving somebody 10% for $1 million, that means that we have a lot of conviction and runway. So there's a couple things, right? We would do the math and we would say, what's actually the value of TradePath? Because this is where a lot of people don't realize about this kind of software. The valuation of a software company is based off of three main things, right? Overall revenue, MRR, ARR, right? How much is the company built, making money off of subscriptions? And then you have overall a value of the actual software itself, right? You own the software, you own the code, you own the software, right? That's value. And then you own the data. And the data is extremely valuable because what you have to now understand is the data that we hold is all traders and all of their data in relationship to what makes them successful and what doesn't make them successful. So let's say in 5 years, when AI is advanced enough to take large sums amount of data and code trading AI in trading algorithms, who do you think they're going to go to make this trading algorithm? They're going to go to somebody who has a shit ton of data on traders and what makes a trader successful. And we're going to have a shit ton of fucking data, extremely valuable data. So that is a big part of it as well. This isn't personal data though. This is trading data. So you give your trading data to your broker. Every time that you take a trade, you're giving your data away. We're not doing anything, different than anybody else. You guys, the only way you guys can invest into my business is if you're going to be an investor and provide a lot of capital. So you're saying it's worth 10 mil right now? No, for us to ask for $1 million, it doesn't have to be 10% of the current equity. I would say we're probably like $3 million business right now. So we want to ask for $1 million, which is again a hefty investment. But that's why we build a pitch deck that is insane. Because our argument too, it's like you got to recognize, what does an investor want to hear? There's a couple things, right? This is where you get into like when I talk to my mentors and I say, okay, well, what does an investor want to hear and what is going to make them convict, right? An investor is really going to know within the first 30 seconds of a call. An investor will know within the first 30 seconds of a call whether or not they potentially want to invest or not, because it comes down to the individual. So what's beneficial for me is I say, hey, I'm going to go to my connections and I'm going to say, hey, I have a mentor and a friend whose name is David Lewis, who used to work at NVIDIA, who helped his buddy sell a $100 million company, who has sold the company himself. And I'm going to go ask him who he thinks, or in his circle, might potentially be, interested in being an investor. And he's going to set up a call and a pitch with some of these people. And he reaches out and says, hey, I have a very special kid who I have a lot of belief in. And just because they're hearing somebody that they trust saying that, oh, wow, they're putting their faith in this kid, I'm going to listen to this kid. So when I get when I get on a call with him, my job is to show him why I'm different and why he would want to invest in me. And I can say, okay, well, I'm this age. I dropped out of school at this time. I made this amount of money from trading. I did this, and this. I already have a solid, solidified product. We're now building already off of it. We have a community in which people are constantly around us, and we're constantly helping people. So we already have a great following and people in our space. We're connected with other traders in the industry. Blah 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 blah. And now then we get and say, okay, well, what's the opportunity of the market? Well, another analogy we can use is look at Fireflies. Fireflies is an AI note-taking company. Fireflies is evaluated at $1 billion. $1 billion company. You want to know what the market is? You want to know what the market cap is for meeting softwares? Like 18 to 20 million or billion, 18 to 20 billion dollars is the overall total market cap of the meeting software space. You want to know what the trading software market cap is? Like 25 to 30 billion. And there's any sort of company that's come close to that in the trading space. So if Fireflies is $1 billion company doing pretty much something similar than what we're about to build, and they're doing it in a less big market than what we would be doing, that's a big point as well. Got paid, bro. Savior, let's go, bro. How much is that payout, Savior? Why don't you raise something like a pre-seed investing on blockchain? We can't do pre-seed because we already have a product. Pre-seed is if we don't have a product. Where you create basically investing where people invest their money for pressed value of the future crypto coin that is based on successive trade path projects so everyone can make money. Check it out. It's a platform called Echo. I can't explain it really. I mean, maybe possibly that could be an option, but I don't know enough about it right now. 27K payout, bro. Savior, insane. Wait, Savior, send a screenshot of the email. We'll add it to the testimonial book. That's insane, Savior. Oh, I'm not trying to take over TradeZella. I'm trying to destroy every fucking company in the. I'm trying to absolutely outperform every company in the space in thinking in higher ways. Again, I said when I first started this, my goal is to make TradePath the leading AI company in the trading space. Again, guys, there's really nothing for me to take right now. Markets are just slowly selling off. Would I be open to foreign investors? Potentially. Is Apex better than Top Step? It depends on the personal preference. I don't think one is necessarily better over the other. I think people will say one's better over the other. It's all personal preference, so in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Oh, I fully agree, Nacho. I think the meditation section is cooked right now. It needs to be built out. If I put a picture of my trading session, is it enough or should I be recorded video? What do you mean? Let's go Wallace. Let's go Zatarba. Yeah, I would not take anything right now, 5. And to be honest, guys, I'm probably just gonna hop off. The fact that we have already sold off this much means I need to see a lot more price action get put in. There's no reason for me to look to take anything right now. This is just a straight up, straight down market. I need to see more accumulation. The only trade was possible shorts here, but now that we've already sold back off in the range, I'd rather just focus on preservation here. Right now, Hamza, just screenshots, but in the future videos. Do I trade the second AM macro? If there's price action to support it, but not just because there's a macro, no. Is there a way, or could there potentially be a way to transfer data from previous software like TradeZilla to TradePath? I like your vision and ideas with TradePath, but I'm struggling to accept letting go all of the data I've already recorded and would prefer to have it all in one place. Then use TradeZilla. Right now, there is no way to. Why would TradeZilla make it possible for you to take their data and put it into another platform? They're never gonna allow. They're never gonna do that. Now, what would get somebody to transfer from TradeZilla to TradePath? A product that fucking blows TradeZilla out of the water. Justin, my dad is a private investigator and also a trader, so I will talk to him about TradePath and see what he would like to invest in your company. How much capital does your father have? And what's his experience? Have a good one, Oso. What's up, Sal? New to TT. What's up? Welcome, brother. Glad to have you. Will TradePath have a rules preset option, like for the forever model, for example? That's a good question. Like, are you saying predefined strategies like built into the software? So it's like if forever model will be there and like it'll pop up the rules for it, basically, is what you're saying? That could be something that we could add. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. I will not release an indicator for the forever model. What up, Yusuf? What did you do, Yaj? That's what we're building right now, Mimi. You're gonna have a drop down from all the different accounts that you're connected. I've achieved consistency, and my largest bottleneck is scaling up position size. How have you been processing your latest scaling period, and is there anything new you've learned while scaling? It's extremely easy to be focused on like scaling, but again, at the end of the day, you have to treat it as trading, right? When you're in a scaling period, you can't treat it any different than what you normally do as a trader. Your job is to recognize good setups and only take good setups. When you're in a scaling period, it's almost kind of easier to take bad setups sometimes because you're more focused on scaling and taking trades in action more so than inaction, right? Because you're deciding to put yourself in a position where you are forced to be focused on action instead of inaction. And so that is the thing that where you have to be careful about is when you are like, hey, I'm in a sizing period, that like you're automatically putting yourself in an action mindset. And if there's not a reason to be an action based, then that's where you have to really watch out for it. Is you have to still treat it as like, I'm a trader and my job is just to take good setups. I don't need to scale right now. I don't need to make money right now. I don't know where this account's going to go. My job is to do what I need to do. And right now, for example, today, like my job right now is just not take a trade. There's no setup for me. I think there was a pre-market short. I think there was a setup in the morning, but again, like I said, I think it was just the conflicting with NQ and ES, PA, and overall the way in which we had seen a short. NQ comes up, takes the internal high, but there was no yet SMT at ES and falls back down. I said that there was most likely going to be a short here on ES, but in my opinion, I just didn't have the confidence. No SMT. Could have put it, but I'm okay with just again watching. I also just think that the way in which we were kind of dancing around the change, and more so just NQ, like NQ swept the low, we had no displacement as well. I don't think it was a bad trade though, but I think I was just more focused on protecting capital. What you munching on? Straight ice. Will I take trades in PM if there maybe is a model? I can take trades in PM if that's the question, but will I take? I have no idea. It depends what the market is. Business development across Africa, UK, pitching my business to be exclusively listed at big events like Glastonbury and trainers. Different fields, but principles will be the same. Fire.